now. Okay, so it should be recording now. All right, so this is our presentation on computer systems engineering schools. The only school that really refers to it by this exact name would be ASU, because that's the name of the major at the school. It's more commonly referred to as computer engineering or electrical engineering with computer science or something like that. Essentially, it just combines electrical engineering with computer science principles. And that's essentially what the major is. I have a video here that should introduce ASU's version of the major. So it looks like if it loads, we can, yeah, there we go.
The Computer Systems Engineering major focuses not only on how computer systems work, but how they are embedded in the world around us. From smartphones and kitchen appliances to life-saving medical devices, computer systems engineers learn about hardware and software as well as how they relate to and impact one another.
All right, so starting with admissions requirements for ASU, you'll find these are pretty common across pretty much any university. They require 4 years of math, 4 years of English, non-ESL, 3 years of a lab science, 2 years social studies, at least one, or yeah, including 1 year American history and 2 years of the same second language, and 1 year of either fine arts credit or a CTE credit. These are requirements specific to the engineering school, and they're either a minimum of a 1210 SAT, a 24 ACT combined, or a 3.0 GPA. And ABOR GPA is it's calculated only from your core classes, so just math, English, science, and social studies, not any of your electives or anything like that. So it's probably about the same as your normal and weighted GPA. It might be a little bit different. And then no high school math or science competency deficiencies. They have a fairly high acceptance rate of about 85%. So moving on to cost and tuition, room and board costs, that type of thing. For in-state, it's about $14K for just tuition and fees and for books and supplies for your classes. For housing, meals, travel, personal costs, it can range from 12 to 18K. So that would depend on where you decide to live, that kind of thing. So that's going to add up to an estimated total of about $20,000 to $32,000. Out of state has additional tuition costs, but housing, meal, travel, those personal costs come out to about the same. And then your estimated total is going to be higher mainly because of the higher tuition for out of state. So for scholarships and financial aid, these are the scholarships that they featured on the ASU website. Some of them are need-based, some of them aren't. I believe most of them are merit-based scholarships, so they'll do it based off your GPA or something. Will depend how much money that you get. For financial aid, this is pretty standard, federal grants, loans, that kind of thing. So for AP and IB credit recognition from ASU, students who've taken advanced placement courses can receive university credit, but you won't receive any credit for a score of 2 or 1. So below 3, they won't recognize that at all. Students who present, as you hear, IB diploma or certificate, you can qualify for university credit as well. It depends on the level of examination and the grade you received in your IB classes. They also grant credit for higher level courses and some standard level IB courses. So now we're gonna have Carly present this half.
So the ASU campus size and location, the Ira A. Fulton School is located on ASU Tempe's campus in the heart of Tempe, Arizona, 8 miles east of downtown Phoenix. It's approximately 660 acres and is considered urban. ASU offers a lot of extracurricular activities. There's more than 1,000 student clubs and organizations like Math Club, Forensic Team, 3D Animation Club, and Al With You.
AI with you. Okay. Okay, yeah. So next school, this is my first school, University of California, Berkeley. So UC Berkeley. They're in their electrical engineering and computer science program, bachelor's of science. So admissions requirements similar to pretty much any other school. Again, 2 years history, 4 years English. They only require 3 years of math and only 2 years of science. So that's actually, most schools require 3 years of science, 4 years math. So that's a little bit less. Language other than English, 2 years, same as ASU. Either a visual performing arts credit, college preparatory elective. They have a definition for this on their website. They have like a list of classes that they say fit that criteria. And then for non-residents, you need at least a 3.4 GPA. For California residents, that would be a 3.0 GPA. Acceptance rate 15%, so considerably higher, more highly selective than ASU. Cost and tuition and fees adds up to about 15K. Room and board 18K to 28K, so that adds up to an estimated total of about 30K to 42K. For out-of-state residents, you add an additional 29,700 non-resident supplemental tuition. Other than that, cost should be about the same. So featured scholarships from the UC Berkeley website. Most of them are need-based. Actually, all of them I have listed here are need-based scholarships. So this would be based on your family's income and also your GPA probably. And those award amounts will vary depending on those factors. And then financial aid, the usual federal grants and loans. And then they have their UC specific grants like the Cal Grant for middle and low income. That's only for in-state residents. Chaffee Grant, that's for foster children. And then department awards, those are given out by whatever department your major is in. So for AP and IB credit recognition, AP scores can be used to fulfill credit requirements. No more than 2 AP tests can be used to fulfill your humanities and social studies requirement. For people who've completed an IB diploma with a score of 30 or above, will have units added towards their degree. And IB certificates or scores of 5, 6, or 7 or higher will also receive additional units as well. So campus size and location, it occupies about 170 acres in San Francisco Bay, and it's considered an urban college town. Extracurricular activities, some student organizations. ASUC, this is for all the UC schools, I believe, is like their student government. This is the Associated Students of the University of California. They also have the Berkeley Art Studio, Cal Greeks, recreational sports, and spirit groups. So now moving on to the University of Washington, the Paul G. Allen School of Computer Science and Engineering, and the major would be Bachelor's of Science in Computer Engineering. So admissions requirements, 4 English, 3 math credits. They require 3 social studies credits, 2 world language, 3 science credits, including 2 years of the lab science, and then 1 senior year math-based quantitative course credit. So I'm guessing that's something has like algebra 2 as a prerequisite or something like that. So it's half a fine visual performing arts credit and half an academic elective credit. They have an acceptance rate of about 50%, 48%. So that's a higher acceptance rate. So it's between ASU and UC Berkeley. So it's still a selective school, but not like highly selective. In-state tuition, about 12K for tuition. For room and board, food, personal costs, that should be 74K. I'm missing a 0 here. An estimated total cost of, well, actually, no, that's about 7,000. Sorry, the comma's in the wrong place. $7,461. Should be an estimated cost of about 30K. Out of state is an additional 27,300 in non-resident supplemental tuition. So for scholarships and financial aid, so there are 2 main types of scholarships for the University of Washington. They have academic scholarships and University of Washington undergraduate academic excellence awards. So this is only for in-state residents, I believe. Yeah, so it's awarded to a limited number of undergraduate students who are legal residents of Washington State, and that's from the state government, I believe. And So this is for all incoming freshman students. This is based on academic merit and financial need. So that would be a need-based scholarship. Grants, usual federal grants. They have something unique to the University of Washington College grants. And this is only for residents and it's for people with great financial need. And then tuition exemption and university grants, and then federal loans. So for AP and IB credit recognition, AP scores of 3 or higher are considered for college credit. So anything below is not considered for any credit. In most cases, credits are awarded for IB subjects in which the student has earned a grade of 4 or higher. Additionally, people who've earned an IB diploma, so not including certificates, will be awarded additional credits towards their graduation requirements. So their campus size and location, it's a 703-acre campus located in the University District of Seattle. The computer science and engineering program buildings are located on UW's East Campus, north of the sports facilities. So for extracurricular activities, they have more than 850 student organizations, ranging from study groups and professional groups to honor societies and casual clubs. So some examples of clubs at University of Washington: aerial robotics club, bike shop, creating a company club, and a film production club.
So the next college we're going to be talking about is Stanford University, where you can get a Bachelor of Science in Computer Systems Engineering. The admission requirements for Stanford, you need 4 years of English with an emphasis on reading and literature, 4 years of math with an emphasis on fundamental mathematical skills like algebra, trigonometry, 3 or more years of history or social studies, and courses that include essay writing, 3 or more years of lab sciences, so like biology, chem, and physics, and 3 or more years of the same foreign language. Stanford has a very low acceptance rate. It's a very competitive school, 4.4% in 2019. But moving on to the cost, Stanford's a private university, meaning they do not offer reduced in-state tuition. So the general tuition, including fees, is $52,857. That's a lot, but they do offer a lot of scholarships that we'll get to. For books, supplies, and personal expenses, you can imagine to spend around $5,000. Room and board, about $16,000, leaving you with an estimated total of about $75,000. And then if you're taking AP and IB credit or IB classes, you may be in luck. Stanford does award credit for certain AP exams and IB exams. I included a link with the charts where you can see if the classes that you're taking would qualify you to get credit. You need a score of 4 for most AP language exams to fulfill your undergraduate language requirement. And any duplicate classes that you take, you'll earn credit units for Stanford class, but lose some of your AP units in that subject. There's also a chart where you can check what classes qualify for that. For IB, a score of 5 or higher on the accepted IB language exams will fulfill your undergraduate language requirement. And the same goes for taking Stanford classes that duplicate the IB material. You might lose credits for the IB, but you'll earn credits for Stanford. Next, I included a slide with information about scholarships and financial aid. So some of the featured scholarships that Stanford has, they have the GE Women's Scholarship, and this is applicable for women pursuing engineering colleges. So people like me. They award $5,000 and it's not need-based. And then the I Have a Dream Scholarship, you can cash in about $1,500 and it's also not need-based. The next scholarship, the Questbridge College Match, that you can get $47,000 and it is need-based. So if you're someone that is in need and looking to go to Stanford, you might want to consider looking into this. And then on the right side, I included a chart with some of the average scholarships you can get depending on where your family income falls in and the percentage of applicants who qualify for the scholarship aid from Stanford. On the next slide, the campus size and location. Stanford is a private institution. It was founded in 1885 in California. It has a total undergraduate enrollment of almost 7,000. Its setting is suburban, and the campus size is 8,180 acres. That's huge. For extracurriculars, Stanford students compete in 36 varsity sports and 32 club sports. Stanford offers incentives, programs, and activities that promote health and wellness, and they have a rich tradition of fostering creativity in the arts. There's also 2 museums on campus and a lot of performing arts activities you can attend. Next up, I have the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA, where you can apply to the School of Engineering and Applied Science to get a Bachelor of Science in Computer Engineering. The admission requirements for UCLA, you need 2 years of history, 4 years of English, 3 years of required math, but it's recommended that you have 4. 2 years required lab science, but recommended that you have 3. And 2 to 3 years of foreign language. You also need 1 year of a college preparatory class and 1 year of a visual and performing arts class. The acceptance rate for UCLA is 14% in 2019. Next up, I included a slide with the cost for tuition, room, and board. So this has whether or not you are in one of the residence halls, living in an off-campus apartment, or living with relatives. And it also adds up the totals for California residents versus non-residents. So for us, we're non-residents, so it would be between $55,000 and $67,000. For AP and IB credit, UCLA awards college credit for only HL exams, and the credit awarded by UCLA as a result of IB exams is subject to change without notice. Course descriptions for each IB subject are reviewed by UCLA on a yearly basis. And if you go on the UCLA website, you can check which IB exams can give you credit. And then same with AP exams, you can get AP credit going to UCLA, but AP credit does not satisfy the general education requirements. Again, you can check on the website for a chart of what credits you can expect to be transferring. For scholarships and financial aid, UCLA offers a lot of scholarships. One of the featured ones, they have the UCLA Achievement Scholarship. It's only offered at UCLA, and you can get from $500 to $10,000. It is a need-based one, so if you are someone that's in need, you can apply for that. They do offer need-based grants also, demonstrating UCLA's commitment to affordability, as long as you complete and submit the FAFSA or DREAM Act application annually by March 2nd. So lots of time to get that in. In terms of financial aid, graduating seniors had an average student loan debt of just over $22,000, and 98% of UCLA graduates successfully managed loan repayment. So that's almost 100%. And again, you can apply for a federal and state government grant, as well as UCLA. Most of them are awarded based on need. So submit those by March 2nd. Next up is the campus size and location. UCLA sits on 419 acres at the base of Santa Monica Mountains, 5 miles from the Pacific Ocean. On the left side, I included a picture of the general campus, and then the right side, that's the engineering school. UCLA has a ton of extracurricular activities. I included some of the 10 most interesting looking ones. Dance Sport, Bruin Leaders Project, the Disney Club at UCLA, Toastmasters, and Creative Labs UCLA. And then finally, here are some common careers for majors of computer systems engineering. You can be a computer systems engineer, a computer hardware engineer, a computer programmer, a software engineer, a computer information research scientist, or a network or computer systems administrator.